Good
Thank you,
morning.
Gregory. Hello, hello, hello to everyone. I'm Jerry Ziegenfuss. I'm calling in from sunny Florida, and I'm welcoming you to our Monday morning miracle call. And you'll hear soon why we call it our morning miracle call, and to the new people that might seem strange, but let me touch on we welcome all you new people in. And if you have had any results, which is what we call miracles, please don't be shy. Go down to the bottom of the screen. There's a reaction button. Just click on it. You'll see raise my hand. Please raise your hand. It'll put you up on the screen so I can see where you are. And I'll be calling people to tell what's going on in their life. And you new people, it is very important that you talk to us because, believe it or not, your miracle might be what somebody else on this call really, really needs to hear. It might just be the saving. We've had so many people on our team that had nothing been said to them, they would be in dire straits right now. So your miracle might be helping people. And we like to keep the testimonials down to 30 seconds to a minute if you can do that, because we're going to have a lot of people trying to tell us what's going on in their life, and we want to hear about that. And during the first 15 minutes, we like to keep that to X39 stories, results, miracles. Plus, we now have our Cellergize that people are having so many good results with, and we want to hear about those. So, for the first 15 minutes, if you can share the X39 and Cellergize stories, we would love to hear from you. And we want to stay compliant. That means don't mention diseases, disease names. That's what your doctor tells you about. We want you to tell us your symptoms, how you're feeling, what's going on, what's not going on, what's wrong. Then we want you to tell us the patch. Obviously, the first 15 minutes is the X39 patch. And then how long you wore it and what were your results. Because we don't claim to treat, cure, or diagnose any condition, and we want to stay compliant with the company. So, with that, you're probably wondering why I have my Santa hat on. Okay, I'm going to let you know. We're now in December. Christmas is coming, gifts, Hanukkah, everything like that. And when you're listening to all these stories today, it might just ring in your head, oh, so and so. Wow, this can be an answer. This might help them. So please, we have our stocking stuffers that we like to give gifts on and that. So while you're listening to the stories today, please think about others. That's the thing with December. We want to think of and help others and help them. So give the gift of health to the people that you love. And with that, we will begin with Renee. B. Renee, please unmute and let us hear from you. I hope I said your name right. B. Period Renee. And I think you might be new. I'm so glad that you're coming in, unless I missed you on another call. And do you know how to read? Do you know how to unmute? There's a button at the bottom. Okay, until you can figure that out, I will come back and call on you. And Dushenko, come on in.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to report that October 19th, I ate some blueberries that said they were organic, and my body disagreed. And I looked like Hitch in the movie when the character eats the shellfish and his face is all swollen. And of course, I did stuff right away. When I woke up in the morning, my face was so swollen I couldn't open my eyes. And I put on my patches, and within an hour, the swelling had gone down enough that I could open my eyes and do what I needed to do for my life. And
Wow.
I just, I'm really impressed with the efficacy of LifeWave.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Dushenko. Appreciate that. And B. Renee, have you figured out the unmute button? There you go.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to take a call real quick.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Welcome.
thank you. I have a couple of testimonies, but I'll give the most recent one. In 2023, I suffered a hairline fracture in my ankle, and I had to wear a medical boot for about 18 months. So that took me into 2024, the beginning of the 2025. Um, Well, I've been using the patches, X39 patches, and recently the Celagize. I turned 70. I had a birthday party on Saturday, the 22nd.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And at the age of 69, I took up tap dancing. My daughter's a tap, she's a tap dancer since she was 4. So for about 34 years, she's been teaching. Well, not teaching, but So anyway, a senior friend of hers asked for somebody else to tap dance because she was tapping with little kids, and these little kids were telling her how she was doing steps wrong. So she wanted another senior citizen, and I volunteered. And so I surprised my family and friends at the birthday party, and we did a tap routine. So we're called the Renees, and I give thanks to X39 and some of the other patches, but I also Celagize for giving me energy. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'd like to see that routine sometime, Renee.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ravel, hi, come on in.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you. We heard a wonderful testimonial last night from a young woman in her early 80s, and she said that her heart troubles improved. They came back a little bit, and she increased her water intake. This is X39 alone, and they went away again. She tripped and fell on the top stair yesterday, and instead of getting black and blue, which is ordinarily what would happen. And she patched herself up an X39 on both knees, and of course in the usual place. And I think she ended up putting on another one. She kind of wallpapered herself, and she said she just couldn't believe it. Her discomfort was gone very quickly, and she was incredibly impressed. Wonderful to hear. Looking forward to hearing more stories.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I'll give one. With the holidays and cooking and everything, I decided that a knife needed to go into the side of my thumb. And it really, really hurt, and there was a lot of blood. And so we were able to get it to where I put a Band-Aid to stop the blood. But then I grabbed an X39, I put it on top of that Band-Aid and put a big Band-Aid around that one. And when I took the Band-Aids off at nighttime, first of all, I was out of pain within an hour. And when I took it off at nighttime, you couldn't even tell it. It had healed. Like I know other times previously, if you cut yourself and you have the little bit of skin that's sticking up and you're catching it on everything, it's perfect. And my thumb is fine. And since I'm drowning here, I'll tell you another story. This morning, my dog that loves to play and do zoomies took me down on the sidewalk. And as Ravel was talking about wallpapering, I came in and 2 on my knee and 1 on my elbow and 1 on my shoulder. And I don't know, the sidewalk's pretty hard, but let me tell you, I am not hurting and I am not black and bluing. So just like my thumb, the purple went away. So please stick with that X39, because I think also something to do with that is the fact that I have been consistently using it going on 5 years. So it is a cumulative effect. And like Ravel mentioned about water, please drink water. At least 50% of your body weight in ounces is a good start. And then from there, you can keep going. So anyway, we will then now hear from unmute. Sarah, please come in. Sarah and Marvin. Unmute. Find your button. There you go.
Just me for the moment. I have a Thanksgiving story to tell. I invited some people for Thanksgiving, and it turns out that quite a few people couldn't come, but the men came. And so when I said we're doing a potluck, they said, all right, we'll bring the drinks. So I ended up doing all the cooking, and it took a few days. And I was amazed. I just had so much energy the day of Thanksgiving. We started at, 10 o'clock in the morning and went till 9 o'clock at night. Everybody was very animated. The food was good. And I didn't stop. It was just incredible. And of course, I thank the patches. I can't be without them. That's my
Yes.
Thanksgiving story.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you had a nice Thanksgiving.
Yeah, hope everyone else did too.
Yes, as well. Lavelle, please unmute.
Good morning, and Merry Christmas. We're coming up to Santa's Day.
Yes.
Okay, so hold on. So we were at an event, actually a boot camp event here in California, and a gentleman who he owns 7 restaurants actually. He spent $40,000 to get a stem cell injection because he couldn't raise his right arm, and we had left him some patches. And he calls me up, and we were at the boot camp. He said, "Man, this stuff works." And I was like, "Yeah, it works, absolutely, you know." And then he said, "Hey, listen, I need to come. I need to talk to you because I need to get more of this." And I was like, "Well, I'm at an event right now." He said, "I don't care where you are." So he drove down, and he came and he sat in on the event. We had about 300 people there, I guess, over here in California. And then Dr. Nicholas was there after the event. Dr. Nicholas was there. I said, "Dr. Nicholas, come on over. I want you to meet my friend." And he was able to raise his arm somewhat with one patch, but Dr. Nicholas said, "Put a second one on him." And he was able to raise his arm even further. And then Dr. Nicholas said, "Let's put a third one on him." So he put three X39s on him, and he was able to extend his arm fully to the ceiling. He owns 7 amazing restaurants. We eat at his restaurant all the time now. He started jumping up and down. This gentleman, he's like 70 years old. He started jumping up and down. He said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." So 40,000 or $100 a month. You choose. Which would you
Exactly.
say?
I know.
Thanks for letting me
And
share.
thank you. And Lavelle's talking about the injections. Yes, you can go anywhere from, depending what it is, 5,000 to 60,000 a shot, but they're only treating the one area. That's it. And the thing is, I think it's like about a 45% success rate just for that area, but it's very painful. And I had some lady that I was talking to later that happened to be allergic to it and got very sick. So I would rather use a patch that's giving me some light frequency and helping me than putting any substance into my body. So, anyways, thank you so much for that, Lavelle. Sunshower.
Morning, Jerry and everybody. So I know there's a lot of new folks on this call. I haven't said my rather old story for a while, but it relates to consistency, you guys. So, and Jerry, I know that you're big on the consistency part and hydration.
Yep.
So 2 years into wearing my X39, right back here on my C7, um, I got the biggest shock. You know, I was born without the sense of smell, and I was out in my backyard weeding, and I go, "Oh wow, this weed smells different than this weed." And now I can smell. Talk about a miracle.
Yeah. And that's why we call this call our miracle call, people. So thank you so much, Shar. So happy. I love to hear that story. Thank you for sharing again. Fawn, please unmute.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So I have around my husband's father's wife, her mother, we call her Ma, and she is now the matriarch of the family, and she's 98. And about a week and a half ago, no, it was just like a week ago. So it was a week ago Sunday, I was finally able. She's on hospice right now, and she's at home with her daughter, and I was able to finally get her to put patches on her feet, the ice wave. So I'm going to the other patches now.
That's fine.
But it's been a while, and I've been trying for a long time to get them to try them and really have experienced the success. So she was getting morphine every so often, and that just knocks her out. And then she's just there sleeping out, completely knocked out. So she put the patches on her feet, and her feet also were bothering her a lot because she's just laying in the bed. And oh my gosh, so she doesn't need the morphine when she's got the patches on, and she's awake and she'll talk a little bit and interact a little bit more. So that was really exciting to me, that she wouldn't have to be completely knocked out and could be able to interact. And so on Thanksgiving, we were able to have some conversations with her. So that to me was really awesome.
That was really wonderful. Thank you. I mean, that was probably a really nice Thanksgiving for all of you. So
Yes.
Thank you for getting them on her. Thank you.
Yes.
Jana, please unmute.
Hi. I wanted to share a story about my neighbor who, this is when I first just before I found out about the patches. He went and he took out a loan of $10,000. This man does not have money, and got a shot in each knee, right? 5,000 each. And a month later, 6 weeks later, he's still on crutches. And I had just discovered the patches. So I said, hey, Jim, you got to try these. So we got the patches for him. X39 at that point was all I knew about. And I put them on his knees. And within 5 days, he was off his crutches, because the patches give you 24, hours a day. Your body is being stimulated and is releasing stem cells. And with a shot, it's a one-shot deal, right?
Right. Yeah. And like the injections don't always help people, which obviously they didn't help him. And with your friend, I mean, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, but it's still healing the body once you take it off. And it's going in to heal the cells. So thank you so much for helping him. I'm glad he's off the crutches.
Yeah, no, that was like a miracle, but it was a good example of how the patches can work better than a $5,000 shot.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. Susan, please unmute. What do you have to tell us this morning?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's me again.
That's okay.
I have dealt with back pain for over 12 years this time, and I have too many curves, let's just put it that way. Last week, I mopped my whole house and then went over and helped my daughter pack her kitchen. 2 years ago, when I moved into this house, someone else had to patch my kitchen because it was just too much bending and lifting to do that. And then yesterday, I went out and did a little gardening, and which a couple months ago I did the same thing, repotting plants, and had to lie down for an hour. So I came in, laid down, and realized I'm not hurting. So I just, it's amazing. And yeah, I'm on full cocktail. I'm all the way, Cellar-Gized. Let's go.
You're right. Thank you so much, Susan. I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you for sharing. Trisha, please unmute.
Yes, I have been working in my warehouse replacing ceiling tiles. I'm 74 years old, and I've been doing all kinds of work over there, but the ceiling tiles bothered my shoulder. So like Lavelle was telling about his friend, I patched my shoulder, and it's doing so much better now. First, I tried IceWave. That helped some, but it didn't help enough. So of course I had to do the X39. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that out too. I had the problem with the pain going from down my leg real bad, and couldn't even sit down. And I used the IceWaves for a long time, where it started, where it ended, over the other joint, just to help. And in about, but I was also using X39 because I had other things going on. And on and off, and about 3 months or so, I felt better and it came back. So then after that, I was just using X39s and all the points. And yeah, I found that the X39 did a lot better. But I had a lady that I met at a store, and she was going to have surgery on her arm. And she was telling me about it. And she says, well, I have to get another MRI. I says, well, can I show you something? She says, sure. She says, can you show me what's wrong? She says, I can't lift it. I says, can you lift it as far as you can? So when she did that, we put the brown patch, which for you new people with the ice waves, it's a 2-patch system, brown and white. So we put the brown one on the part that was the most pain. And then we used what we call the clock motion. And like I said, I didn't know this lady. So I started at 12 o'clock and she was just looking at me. So about 30 seconds later, I moved it to 3 o'clock and her eyes like popped open. He says, "Oh, wow, that's great." And I says, "Well, if you were at a 10, where are you now? Because I'm trying to gauge what's going on." She says, "Oh, it's probably down to 4 or 5. I says, "Well, that's not good enough. Let's go." And we went to 6 o'clock. And maybe 30 seconds, she was going like this. And she never had surgery. So, yeah, thank you so much, Tricia. Yes.
You bet.
Lavelle, please unmute. What else can you tell us today?
Okay, sure. I want to share just a crazy story. A friend of ours, he actually goes to our church. He actually goes to our church in Ohio. We have our church is international. So, he's a former fireman, and he had hip surgery, knee surgery, and he's walking around with a cane when he can walk, basically. And and most of the time he was in a wheelchair. And one day I heard one of the doctors say, "Well, you can't overdose on this stuff. Wear as many patches as you want." And this is just a crazy story. He put 40 patches on, and now he doesn't need his cane and he doesn't need a wheelchair. Now
Did you say 40? Did you say 40, Lavelle?
40 patches on. He bought the premium at the time. It was a diamond package. And
Uh-huh.
he put 40 patches around on the pizza rolls. And he wrapped
Wow.
it around his leg and put it up under his sweats that he had on. And it worked for him. He got up and he doesn't use- and it's been a few years now, and he's never had to go back to the wheelchair or the cane. Because he said people, calling him Moses when he had to walk with his cane, or then he couldn't walk, he couldn't walk with the cane as far as he wanted to, so sometimes he used his wheelchair. He put 40, and I have pictures of it. He put 40 patches on a
Wow.
pizza box and wrapped it around his leg, and now he
Oh.
can walk. That's ridiculous. That's just
Yeah,
amazing.
it is, but it worked. I'm so glad he's walking. Thank you, Lavelle, for sharing that story. Wow.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Kay, please unmute. You're not unmute. You're not unmuted.
How's that?
There you go.
Okay.
You did
My
it.
husband David and I started patching back in March 24. And at the beginning of the summer in 24, David started experiencing some shoulder discomfort that continually got worse. And in August, he ended up in the ER. Long story short, he had to have a procedure, and that left him with massive bruises. But he was, in 3 weeks' time, those bruises were gone, and he was back in his woodworking shop. So, yay for that. And then for myself, after patching for about 14 months, somehow I injured my right knee. I was unable to walk. Well, by the time I was able to go in and have it checked, I'd been patching and had just been given rest. And so I was offered 3 options. And I said, well, what about option 4? Can we just wait and see? So that was agreed to. And when I went back in 3 weeks later, I was dismissed from the care. And then total 3 months later, I had full use of that knee again just by patching. So,
And which patches did you use? Just 39 or did you use others?
I did use others. I had the X39, the Eon, and glutathione.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, glad the knee as well. Thank you so much for sharing, Kay.
Sure.
Jim, come on in.
Good morning. I don't know if I've ever shared at all in these morning calls over the last couple of years, but yesterday I was out pressure washing, getting ready to do a little construction on the house here over the next couple of weeks. And I went to move the doghouse and reached inside. And as I was moving the doghouse, I got bit by a yellow jacket right between the web of the first finger and the middle finger, index finger and the middle finger. And I'll tell you what, it hurt. Immediately went in the house, washed it off real quick, put on a glutathione. Sorry, I had X39 on from the morning. Put a glutathione on and an Eon right on top of it, and within probably 4 minutes or less, the pain was gone. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. And, you know, glutathione is a major detox in our body. So obviously getting the crap out from the sting out of your system really helps. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Tim. And since we haven't had any furry friend stories, that's my favorite place is Furry Friends. We always have them. And I just want to let you know that when your dog, cat, fish, whatever it might be, isn't feeling well, you know, you can always take your used patches and put it underneath the collar, on a bandana. I had one that was on medicine for the eyes with just white stuff coming out and all of the condition that you have. Even grown-ups have that condition, and never had to use Apoquil on it. And then with the Eon patches, she was the biggest baby if you heard rumbling from miles away that we had a storm coming up. And after a couple times, she was out in the yard and you could hear the rumbling and she just ignored it. So, you know, the Eon helping our nervous system and relaxing and just, you know, giving us a less stressful life, especially now during the holidays. I think we all are having stress. So along with the X39, Eon was our #1 patch prior. It gives us many, many, many benefits. And the stress is one of the biggest ones that we can conquer during the season. So seeing no more hands up, and I don't want to keep babbling on about my hundreds of different things that have happened to me, my miracle. So Gregory, would you like to bring us down and close us out? And please remember, people, the holidays, gifts, one of these stories might have touched you for somebody you know. Give the gift of health to these people and love, because you can't go wrong. And, you know, when you give something that's going to be put away in the corner or not used again, why not give something that the people are going to use? So I thank you for being with us. And Gregory and Robin, are you here?
Yes,
Or...
we're here.
There you are. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Wonderful job. And yes, I love that you started the hat season. We can continue that one. And yes, giving the gift of health. Thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing stories. I don't know if I've ever heard 40 patches. That might be a record. The wall. And to remember, especially if someone is older or very in a very delicate state, the patches are very powerful. And sometimes more is better, but I've had elderly people have more be too much.
Correct.
So be, you know, aware of that. And as many of you know, I'm in recovery from a total knee revision, which means one of my knee replacements had to get redone, and I'm healing really, really fast. The physical therapist and the nurse and everything, they're kind of blown away with, you know, how well I'm doing, and we're not surprised, but it does speed up healing. And I have the master patcher of Dr. Shauna who comes over every day to patch me, which is pretty amazing. So we are blessed. And at this time of year, oh boy, to give people hope that they could be more comfortable. What a wonderful thing. So thank you all for your stories today. And I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. We were definitely in the holiday season. The rank ups were wild. Oh my gosh, so fun. I know we have several on the line here, and how exciting for everyone. This is a lot more fun when you can get to a new rank. So we've decided, because there's so many ranks, there's, you know, a whole bunch, that we're going to just acknowledge on the Monday night call when people make it to 1-star director, 1-star executive, you know, it'll make it a lot easier for us. So if you have anyone that is ranked up to a 1-star director, manager, director, no, just director and above, have them come on the call tonight, and we'll just have them share briefly because there's so much going on. Lavelle, did you want to share something?
Yes, dear. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure.
Just want to remind everyone, today's the last day, guys. Get your Black Friday specials.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
Last
Forgot
day.
about that. Thank you.
That's a great reminder because it goes through Cyber Monday. So reach out to your customers and your brand partners and people that have been wanting to give it a try. This is a good time to get started to enjoy the holiday season. So yes, through today. And I think that's all for now, but excited to share all the excited, the rank ups are, I mean, last night was working with Cam. She crossed over for 1-star executive at 11 o'clock last night. Great team effort. People were busy all over the place helping her out. So how wonderful is that? We have a team sport here. All right, everyone. Well, we will see you on the call tonight and look forward to that and have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Bye, everybody. You want to unmute
Please.
and say goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for your sharing, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Jerry.
Bye.
Great job.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
Jonathan.
Hi,
Thank you,
Trish.
Jerry. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sunshine.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. A
Bye,
wonderful,
everybody.
I
wonderful
love
call.
you.